Your daily Bitcoin and Litecoin update. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Friday, and I hope you have a great weekend. We're going to take a look at the charts, starting out with Litecoin, then moving on to Bitcoin, and then taking a look at my favorite chart comparison, Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly chart, and show you why I believe we'll hit 46,000 by the end of the year. And that would leave Litecoin somewhere in the vicinity of 500 to 1,000. I know I was saying 600, but I'll show you why when we take a look at Litecoin. I do want to thank you all for showing up, and I want to remind you we have 100% free Discord. The link is in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. Best community in crypto, bar none. There's always people in there to help you out. Definitely check it out. There's also some affiliate links down there. Check those out as well. If you can use them, that's awesome. If you can't, no big deal. And let's get on with the video, see what's going on, guys. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel, as I do daily updates every day. I also do live streams. If you tick that notification bell, that'll get you notified when I do post new videos or when I go live. So don't forget to do that. Also, guys, take a second out, smash those likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think, and let's get on with it. All right, so as you guys know, I'm going to draw this in. We've been watching this from the $100 neckline as a cup and a handle, which we've broken out of. And our measured move of that, guys, is right up to the 180. I'm definitely still looking at the 180. And I'm starting to look at another cup and handle. It is not too clear yet. It's not... it's not valid yet until it breaks. But if we looked at this 146 as the neckline and we drew the cup as right here and we are forming the handle now, you can see that if we were to break that, and I think we will, obviously, because we're going to the 180 in my opinion, but then our target is around that 264 to 270 range, somewhere in there. We'll take a closer look at it in the 4 hour, but I do want to look at these higher targets. This target here I get from looking at this as a rising broadening wedge using the yellow and the white, or I'm sorry, the white and the yellow being resistance, white being support. And a break of that at the 180 range would get us to that 264 range off of that measured move. Also have another measured move using the yellow as the resistance, yellow as support down here, rising broadening wedge, and the measured move of the breakout is $300 range, guys. And as you guys know that have been watching this channel, these targets can change depending on where we break these resistance lines. So keep that in mind. Also, this is not my end of the year target for Litecoin or Bitcoin or Litecoin. It is going to be around 500 as my year end target, somewhere in that range. So anyways, let's take a look at the RSI real quick, and then we'll go into the more immediate price action. And if you guys have been watching, we were watching this rising channel since way back in December. And we fell out of it. We fell into a falling channel, falling out of it. So we did get a little peak out of this here, but we're back in it now. Let's see if we can hold in there. Let's look at the 4 hour. Looking at the 4 hour, we had this falling channel in here. This is a bigger falling channel in the yellow. We had a falling wedge here, broke out of that into a falling channel, into another, into another. And this one was a little on the sloppy side. We had, I guess you'd call this a bear trap here, bull trap here, and we're back within it now. I was also looking at this as a symmetrical triangle, and if we took a measured move off of that, that would get us down to touch the bottom of this, which is still possible, guys. We may come up here and come back down, so there is possible for some more bearish momentum, but we will take a look at that and take a look at both scenarios. So let's look at what's going on right now. We had put this target yesterday in the 94. Looks like we almost hit it. We hit the 95 range. We had this $100 target here, which was the measured move. If we measured this as a A, a B, and a C correction, which it did overshoot it just a little bit, but it was pretty close. We just got the wick down. I have this falling channel drawn in here, which I believe we're gonna pop out of eventually. It is possible to get another down move, still down to this 94, maybe even $90 range. It's possible, guys, but more and more this plays out, the less likely I think that is. So what I'm looking at now is, like I said, let's look at the bearish case scenario first. We had this blue rising broadening wedge here, which we broke out of here. I'm going to get rid of this to clean the chart up. If you remember, I said if we went down past the 115, we'd be heading towards 100, and that's what happened. So now I'm looking at this as a falling channel, which is bullish in my opinion. I'm going to leave this blue line here, even though this wedge is invalidated, but I do believe this is still going to be a line of resistance when we make our way back up here. Worst case scenario, guys, if this does not hold, we could drop down all the way to 60. I don't see that possible. I think that's the absolute worst case scenario. I don't see it happening though, but it is old resistance over here, which would become new support. Now let's take a look at what I think is going on, which is the bullish scenario. And if we took a measured move of this falling channel here, and we went over to, say, I'm looking at we're probably going to break out somewhere in this area. I could be wrong. We could break down over in here, whatnot. And that's why I do daily updates. We'll see where this breaks out to where we're headed. But as of right now, I'm thinking we're going to break out from the top of this channel. And this blue line area here is where we're going to break up. Just the way it's looking right now, guys. But 148 is the target for there, which would be a new yearly high. And then we'll probably get some resistance there, maybe create another bull flag, maybe come down and test the blue line again and then back up. We'll, like I said, we do daily updates and we will keep an eye on that. But then obviously my next target would be that cup and handle target. And if we took a measured move of this as this channel here, this being the resistance, this being the support, did a measure move off that to where we break out at the 180 range, and that's going to get us around the 235 range. My next measured move off of that is measuring this as a top of a broadening wedge, and this white line, the bottom of the broadening wedge, which definitely looks like good support for us, guys. And we would take the measured move if we broke out at 180 for that one. That would also get us around that 265 range, which would be around the new cup and handle that we could be forming the handle of right now. And if we break this, we'll see it then and know where we're at. So that's where I'm at with Litecoin, guys. Let's move on to Bitcoin. And I know everybody's getting really bearish with Bitcoin. I do not see why, and I said that in my last few videos. Everything looks pretty good, pretty strong still. If you've been watching, we're watching this as a rising broadening wedge. We had a measured move of that at 96, which we hit a few weeks ago. And then we broke out of this channel, and our target for that was 13.6, but we did hit 13.8, pretty close, guys. And now we are in some pretty important times here. So let's take a look at the bigger measured moves first and how I've gotten them. So looking at this as the top of this resistance from these trend lines over here, or these candles over here, and we obviously did touch that over here from our last high. So if we did a measured move, say we broke out around this range, which is my target of 14.3. I'm going to get rid of this 14.7 for now, guys. I'm not saying we're not going there, but I will show you why in the 4 hour. I did invalidate that target. So if we were to break out here, obviously, let me look at this way first. We'll look at the shorter ones. So if we were to break out at this 14.3 range or somewhere in here, 14.4, 14.5, somewhere in there, the measured move off that, measuring this here as a channel, this line being support, this line being resistance, that'd get us up to the 18,000 range. My next measured move would be using this as support or resistance. We need another touch on to make this valid, but I do have enough down here along with this one, so I do consider this valid actually. And if we use this as the resistance line and measured that whole channel and the breakout, that would get us around the $20,000 range, guys, which I believe would get us to new all-time highs. And then we may come back down, test this for support one more time, and continue on up. That'd be a nice correction. And then my target from where we broke out would be measuring this as the top of a rising broadening wedge, and this being the bottom. And our target would be the $25,000 range. That's not my end of the year target. We'll look at that here in a few when we go over to the Bitcoin versus gold charts. Let's now look at the daily RSI. So if you remember yesterday, I had drawn this wedge in here. Looks pretty good. Looks like we're actually got a good chance of popping out of it here in the daily. And, you know, coming up to test the top of this, or the bottom of this rising channel, possibly even touch our resistance up here, which helped us call the tops. So looking good in the daily in the RSI. I do want to show one more thing in the RSI. I did a video on divergence. It'll be released Wednesday. But yeah, if we look at how this is playing out here, let me get down in here a little bit. We're definitely showing some bullish divergence, this being straight across right here on our RSI with an up movement here. That's definitely bullish, guys. I do believe we're going to get up to our targets here soon, but I do want to go into the 4 hour RSI and look at how this is playing out. All right, so in the 4 hour RSI, this has gotten a little sloppy. We did have a measured move here, which could still be in play, guys. If we did a measured move to where we broke out of this rising wedge, that would get us down into this oversold range, which is definitely possible, guys. We may come up, test the bottom of this again, and then come down for one more move. It is possible. We'll take a look at the bearish case scenario and also the bullish case scenario. If that does happen, well, we'll talk about the targets here in a minute. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already, and leave your comments. Let me know what you think of the video. So I had said I had that 14.7 up. You see me delete that a little bit ago, and that was a measured move off of this, looking at this as a falling broadening wedge that we broke out of. That got us up to the 14.7 range. I am going to invalidate that right now because we did break this line and close some 4 hour candles under it. So I'm going to get rid of that line. This is still my measured move. The target I'm definitely looking at, that being the measured move of this falling wedge here and where we broke out. And that does give me the 14.3 range. So that's definitely still my target, my main target, guys. I know I had the 1400 in there looking at this as a bull flag, and I'll show you that real quick. Let me get a triangle. We were looking at this as the bull flag here. And get this straightened out a little bit. And the measured move off of that was right here. Measuring that as the flagpole to where he broke out, and that would get us up here. Technically, it's not invalidated yet because we did not break through the bottom. So I am going to keep that target there. So my targets right now are between 14,000, 14,300. I do believe we're still headed there. But do keep in mind, like I said, we'll look at the bearish case scenario first. We could come down to this 200 EMA on the 4 hour, which is going to be around the 10.6 if we don't break through these EMAs here. But it is looking pretty strong. I'm going to look at the 1 hour real quick. And you can see we're getting resistance from the 55 and the 200. But it does look like a bull flag possibly forming here. If we break above these and get support, that's going to be a definite good sign. Let's look at the 15 minute. Usually what happens in the 15 minute carries on to the hour and so on and so forth. We are having trouble with the 200 EMA on the 15 minute right here. So it is possible we come back down and retest this area. And if 11,000 doesn't hold, then we could be going down to the 10, like I said, the 10.6 area. It's definitely possible. Keep that in mind. Like I said, we're taking a look at the bearish scenario so we can be prepared for whatever does happen. So yeah, that's where I'm at for now. And yesterday when we made the video, I had this target of 11,000, which was the top of this rising channel here that we broke out of over here. And we broke through, broke back up over here. But anyways, that is, I did have that did seem to hold. Now let's see if this top trend line continues to hold, which I believe is a very good possibility. That's why I have these targets up here. And actually, let me widen these out because we're going to be going over a little bit. Move it over. Move this one over here. All right, sorry about that. Didn't mean to bore you with moving stuff around. But anyways, yeah, so this is worst case scenario, this 200 EMA holding again. That's going to be around the 10.6 range, guys. I still am in my long from 11.2. I wrote it up here. Yeah, could have sold, collected profit, whatever. But you guys know I play long swings. And for those of you that don't know, I hold my Bitcoin, I hold my Litecoin. I use cash in a trading account to trade leverage on Bitcoin and use my profits to buy more Bitcoin and Litecoin. I do not trade my actual coins. I will not let them get my coins. I'm holding on to my coins for this parabolic bull run that I believe we are still in, even though people think there's going to be a correction way down. And this is my, like I said, bearish case scenario. I rambled on a little bit there, sorry guys. Would be this is M forming and we come down to test the bottom of this rising channel, which would be somewhere in the $9,500 range. And if that wasn't to hold, then we would be looking at somewhere in the $8,100 range, which would be testing the top of this rising broadening wedge that we popped out of over here. Guys, I don't see that happening, but we do have to be aware of it. If we break this 11.2 and then we break, let me get this over here. And if this 10.6 level didn't hold, then we would be going down towards the 95 would be, my opinion, somewhere in that area, which would be old resistance over here. So, like I said, guys, worst case scenario, I don't see it happening. I think we're still pretty bullish here, and I am looking for this target here to play out from the falling wedge here. So this is definitely the area I'm watching is the 14 to 14.3. And I will probably look to close my longs in there and see how the price reacts and maybe look for new entrants for another long depending on what it's doing. I do believe it'll probably form some type of bull flag or pennant in this area and give me a new chance to get in a little bit lower. But like I said, these are my targets for now. So we also took a look at the higher targets. Now I'm going to go into the Bitcoin daily versus gold weekly chart, and we're going to talk about why I believe we could hit 46 to 47,000 by the end of the year. That is my target. Could be being conservative, but I do believe we'll hit at least that by the end of the year, in my opinion, guys. Don't trade off my opinion or anybody else on YouTube. But do join the Discord group because there's a lot of people in there, lot of different views, a lot of people helping each other out. Just an awesome community if you want to learn to trade, or if you just want to go somewhere to talk about crypto. Link is in the description below the video. All right, so this is a chart we've been watching. This is my target for the end of the year, 47,000, and you'll see why in a minute. Take a good look at this area right here. This is where I believe we're at on the gold weekly chart. And if you notice this white trend line here, I drew from the old support in the bear market. Also, the blue line is all drawn off of old support in the bear market. I drew both these lines in the gold chart. Guys, you got to remember when I click over, a pattern is a pattern. Period. Human emotion always reacts the same. That's what creates the patterns and charts. I don't believe so much in the news and whatnot, and you know, making my decisions off that, because 99% of the time we're the last ones to find out about it. These price movements like this, we'll hear about the news later when it'll be too late. Show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. I'm expecting to hear some pretty big news soon. I'm not sure that's the insiders were buying this. That's just my opinion and how I look at it, guys. Also, want you to take a look. We touched this bottom trend line twice before obviously starting our parabolic bull run. And if you question this being parabolic, just go over to the weekly chart, guys. It's pretty obvious. Or the monthly, whichever. It's definitely a parabolic bull market. All right, so I'm going to switch over now. Keep an eye on all this, and definitely keep an eye on the end of the year target. And I'm going to click over. This is gold. I'm going to click back and forth so you guys can see it. And this, like I said, this is where I believe we are in the gold chart. Right here. Definitely see us going up. There's a blue line here where we got resistance. I drew it in here. Guys, it doesn't mean this is going to be exact, but when we do get our heavy resistance, we'll know, and we'll be able to adjust this line. But you can see here, we got resistance up there, came back down, tested the white trend line, and continued to all-time highs in gold. And this would be a pretty big correction, so I don't know, you know, that we're going to correct down this low. That would bring us back down to the 11,000 after hitting 25. I don't see it going that far, guys. We'll figure that out as we get there, but I do see this chart playing out. It is playing out beautifully. I think this is our guide to financial freedom. It's mine. Whether it's yours or not, I don't know. This is just my opinion. But anyways, another thing I wanted to look at, well, like I said, you can notice we have two bottoms on that bottom trend line, just like we did in Bitcoin. It's just amazing, the resemblance of these. So let's go into the RSI, on Bitcoin. We'll go into the weekly RSI. And guys, remember, we're the only channel that has been following this since January. And it has been playing out beautifully. We started watching it back in this area, which in the chart would be way back in this area. So pretty awesome. I'm glad if you guys have been here the whole time, especially kudos. I'm sure you've been pretty confident with the bull market as I have. So looking at the weekly RSI and Bitcoin, these two trend lines, you can see they're exact same angle. This is a 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. We had two touches of resistance on this trend line before breaking through and starting the bull market. This is 2017 bull market followed by the 18 bear market. Two touches of resistance followed by the bull market. So let's go into the monthly. In the monthly, I have these two arcs drawn in here. And this is the 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. Each one of these arrows represents a new low in the RSI before starting the bull market, and there was 4 of them. This is the 2017 bull market followed by the bear market. Each one of these arrows represents a new low in the RSI, just like over here, and there was 4 of them, just like over here. The only difference I see, guys, is this arc's going to be way quicker, way bigger, mass adoption, something big, something huge is happening. We'll all know about it soon. But yeah, if you like my videos, definitely don't forget to subscribe by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. Smash your likes, guys. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos so you don't miss out on anything, as we do updates every day. Thanks for stopping in, guys, and I will See you later.